that realignment is not a new concept. Mental health has been here. And as you know, what has happened with mental health services is that, and it's slightly different, because in realignment with mental health, the state basically said, we will return the responsibility of providing mental health services to city and counties. However, we will fund them. Well, in the budget year, when it was realigned, the money was there. In subsequent years, in good times, the money's been there, but in a lot of bad times, the money has not been there. So the city has the responsibility, but not enough money at the state level to provide for those services. And what has happened then is that in some counties, they have backfill, and in other counties, they have not backfill. The problem...
We're all interested in San Francisco.
Well,
in
San Francisco,
so what will happen in San Francisco?
In San Francisco, there have been times when San Francisco would in fact backfill. They would take general fund money on the city and county of San Francisco and backfill whatever shortfall from the state. This redevelopment is slightly different. The redevelopment, the realignment in this case is different because we will give you a set of dollars to fund that particular program. And that set of dollars will continue to come to the city. The problem, however, is whether or not in the budget year, but in the out years, there's going to be additional costs for that mental health services. And then the question is that if there are additional costs, then where will local governments get the money to pay for those additional costs? That's where the problem comes in the out year. And then the other problem is that if you have some counties that will backfill and other counties that will not backfill, what is the impact that that may have in neighboring counties? So those are the two problems with this particular realignment, and we'll see what happens. Then it's up to local government to decide what they're going to do. So the answer to your question is that I don't know. It depends what the mayor's going to do and what the board of supervisors do.
I mean, we have a deficit that seems to be increasing every year, and so this is going to exacerbate that. Is that a yes or a no?
It depends on whether or not in the out year it's going to be an additional cost. And if there's an additional cost, then there is going to be cost pressure. Then it is up to the mayor and the board of supervisors to decide if they're going to then cut the services or they're going to go ahead and continue to pay for those services. It just depends on what they're going to do. Yeah, well.
One of the things we hear so much about, I'm on the Affairs Commission, is the returning Iraq and Afghanistan folks, and especially with early guard, they've been so screwed up. One of the great sources that probably no one in the room knows, every county has a county veteran service office. San Francisco has a great one. And when these people need any kind of assistance, they go to that office. Now, the governor wants to cut the funding. I think it's, in all the counties, in 20 years they've had these offices, and they do everything for the vets. So I can say San Francisco, we need any assistance. But the governor wants to cut the funding, and I think a large portion of the funding comes from the state. So if he cuts the funding, a lot of the counties are going to close these offices. I just wondered if, I know this is not minute, you have a million other problems, but I wonder what you think about this particular issue.
There's strong support in the Capitol for veteran services, as you can imagine. That service, as you indicate, at least with the governor's proposal, will in fact be cut. And again, within the conference committee, there is going to be some attempt to try and take care of the veterans, and we'll see how successful that's going to be.
AB 376. Could you explain to me why I should go along with that?
AB 376.
This is the shark fin soup. I don't understand this.
Well, it's not my bill.
Okay, I understand
It is
that.
Paul Wong's bill.
Yeah.
And what that bill does is to basically make it illegal to interact in any commercial way
Mm-hmm.
with shark fins in the state of California. It would ban the sale, the trading of shark fins within the state of California. So that's what the bill is.
What is your take on it?
I'm not supporting it.
Why is that?
I think what I try to do in my sort of political life is to try and find balances. One thing that I've learned over the years is that there's lots of divisiveness in our community. There's downtown interests, there are interests in the neighborhoods. There are big businesses and there are small businesses. There are individuals who are environmentalists, and then there are other individuals that are environmentalists but still want to somehow find some kind of compromise. And so that particular issue, and I think over the years there's been an attempt to try and bring the Asian community together along with the environmental community, because I don't think that they are poles apart, that there are points of agreement, there's points of compromise, and so on. So right now, in the state of California, you can, in fact, get legally acquired shark fins. The state of California Fish and Game Department licensed individuals to basically sell those kinds of shark fins, legally acquired. The federal government also legally licensed individuals to sell shark fins, legally acquired shark fins. So if there are legally acquired shark fins, then why is the state of California saying, no, we can't trade in any shark fins? I think that it is just absolutely horrible that anyone would, in fact, cut a fin of a shark and then throw the body in and let that shark die. I don't think anybody would support that particular kind of practice. But if you were to get an entire shark and you bring it to shore, if that go past, you could eat the body of the shark. The fins you could not. You could not sell that because it's illegal. Any fin. So I thought that there would be a way of, crafting a compromise. I'm going to try and get some amendments through, and hopefully we can get those amendments, and then we would get a bill that I think everybody can, in fact, support. I think that's been unfortunate that somehow that bill has now sort of triggered, that kind of divisiveness, and I'm trying to see what I can do, how to bring it back together.
In what way would you describe the way you would do the budget as opposed to the way Governor Brown is proposing to do it?
Well, I'm not running for governor, so